plane and we lived and there was a dome over the top, this would have to be created. It could not be a random Big Bang spinning ball in space thing. Okay, you admit that. Then the spinning ball compared to a flat plane with a dome, there's a definite difference. This had to be created by somebody, something, some civilization, right? So if we were created, then we're special. And we were placed in here. And we are not animals. We are not evolved from monkeys or even amoebas. But that's what they want us to believe. So if we don't have any power, if we don't know that we are spiritual beings and have a beautiful purpose.
I know that. I think we all know that.
No, we don't.
Well,
no, we don't. Because they make cages and put us in it.
They try to, but I feel like a lot of people...
For even having a plant, they put us... Marijuana. If you have a marijuana plant, they put you in prison.
We're making moves with marijuana.
No, that never should have been made illegal. They did that on purpose.
No, they did. Yeah, that
and you know who did that?
I don't know.
The paper industry. Because hemp can be used for a lot of stuff.
I know.
Okay? And the guys, the rich guys, they wanted to make more money and strip us of all of our rights. And they made hemp illegal and they put marijuana in there. And did you know what else? There's a lot of like THC that can help with memory problems. Yeah. I want that for my mother. I'm going to have to move to Massachusetts to get it now.
It's medical. You can have it here.
No, you know what qualifications it takes to get medical marijuana?
I have someone in my family who has it.
You have to go through hell to get it. And my mother just has a memory problem. She's physically fine. So I want to get it, but no. And it's a freaking plant. It's our right to have that. It's our right. And they are just making money off of the suffering of people.
It's all about money.
Okay, so they're making money off of our suffering.
Do you feel like the same way kind of about like hallucinogenics, like mushrooms and...
I think anybody should do what they want to do. If they if they're hallucinating, get in a car and drive and hurt somebody, then they should be punished.
What about like harder drugs? Like,
guess who's the biggest drug producer? The government, our government. You know why we're protecting Afghanistan? Because we are protecting the poppy fields over there. Our own government is in the drug business. Yes. So you think about that.
I will.
And they make up a lot of crap. Don't believe all these shootings and stuff. It's all crap.
Oh, that's a little...
No, offensive?
Yeah.
And that's, you know what that word offensive? You can't say anything that's offensive. Really? Guess what? The truth is offensive.
You can. I'm not...
The truth is offensive, isn't it?
Can I say something without being interrupted by you? I think...
Oh, now you're getting offensive.
I'm saying that if people are dying, I think it's a little insensitive to say shootings aren't real.
Well, what if they're not dying and what if the government is lying to us? Hi, honey, can you... Excuse me 1 second. What do you got? Hello? 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 Crap. Shit. Oh, crap. I just lost it. Where's my fucking phone? Yes, Jacqueline. I'm out on the street here. Can you just make it quick? Listen, if I can pay that with a credit card, that would be good. Can I do that somehow? Will you please check into it and then text me? Thank you, bye. I would have let you know that I was coming today. It's just hard when the weather's bad You know, I did call yesterday and tried to get an indoor spot, but they didn't accommodate me, so I just had to come when I could. So, do we have another question or anything?
No, I just wanted to revisit our conversation.
Okay, well, you know the horizon is always at your eye level no matter how high you go.
No, I don't want to talk science. I want to talk about that shooting.
Oh, you want to talk about shooting stuff? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's not really the focus of my thing here.
I know, but you said it, so
But once you research this and you know they're lying about this,
But you don't want to follow up with what I asked you.
I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to get into specific things about that.
You shouldn't say stuff.
I'm going to tell you. No, I can say whatever I want to say, and I'm going to say what I want to say, and you can just accept it or not.
Where's your
Okay?
response for me?
I don't care. See, I'm telling you about the flat Earth. If you know the Earth is flat, then you'll look into everything else. That's what this is about.
I missed why you said that all the wars were fake.
Yeah,
Shootings
I was
are
gonna
Okay.
ask you about that.
The Antarctic Treaty.
Shootings are fake.
The Antarctic Treaty. Well, if you look into it, did you ever study 9/11? Did you ever study it? I spent at least 20 hours on 9/11 because I couldn't believe our government would do anything like that. Okay, so you just wise up.
What do you think about
Okay.
that?
It was all orchestrated. It was a real life drama, and people died, but innocent people
To start our
died.
war on terrorism.
Yeah, but it wasn't from goat herders flying planes. So you got to look into it. Look up dustification. Dr. Judy Wood, dustification. That'll explain to you why those buildings came down in dust.
I did research that.
Yeah? Did you look up dustification? Dr. Judy Wood. Look that one up. Okay, so why are there no wars? Look up the Antarctic Treaty. And when Admiral Byrd...
About the people that were in the wars, are they lying? Like my grandfather who was involved in Vietnam, was he lying about it?
The soldiers have no idea what the upper people are telling them is true or not. They believe their government, and this is why I'm telling you to not believe your government, so you're not sent off to die for something that's not real. That's what love is,
so you're saying
okay?
there were the wars, but the reasoning behind them were not.
People actually went and shot guns. I'm not denying that. But the reason why they were told and went.
Okay, so you're not denying that there were wars. You're just saying that.
No, I never said that. I said there wasn't a real war. A real war, like for the purpose that they said it was.
There were people killing each other.
Yes.
So it was
of course
war,
there
but
were.
It wasn't for the reason that we thought it was. Is what you're
The
saying?
soldiers are different.
I'm just trying to understand.
There were fights.
They're
there were
pawns. They're pawns. The soldiers are pawns.
I understand.
Michael New. Did you ever hear about Michael New? They wanted him to put on the United Nations armband, and he said, no, I will not. And they court-martialed him. He was the only guy who did anything right because he had a brain, and he thought for himself. They want us to all be under the United Nations, and we should never, ever do that. Ever. So you asked about the Antarctic Treaty. That's what I'm telling you is the reason. When Admiral Byrd went out to explore Antarctica, he found something there. And they immediately closed it off. The Antarctic Treaty closes off Antarctica. You cannot go there unless you pay thousands of dollars and they hold your hand and escort you around. And that is true. So if you want to know what they're hiding in Antarctica, I think it's the edge of the dome. They found that.
I come to accept it. I accept
Admiral Byrd
it's flat, just like
lost many airplanes down there, at least a dozen airplanes. They kept crashing into something they couldn't see.
You know why it gets nighttime?
So look into this.
So it's a dome?
Yeah, look up lightning sprites. And all the stars are fixed into the dome. They're fixed because this, right there, star trails, you know what that is? If you open your aperture to your camera, in the old cameras there is aperture, right? And you fix it on Polaris, pole star, above North Pole, you will get these concentric circles. They are the stars, and they're turning above us. That's what that is. You know what they teach us in the schools? That. They teach us that the sun is moving, the Milky Way is moving, and all the planets are trying to catch up, and they're moving. It adds up to about 1 million miles an hour, all that speed, and we don't feel it. But you think that would come from that? Not me, sister.
You're right. I don't believe.
I don't believe that at all.
How'd you get in there with all this?
2.5 years ago, somebody told me, "Oh, did you hear that some people say the moon landing was fake?" I said, "What? You're kidding me."
Well, yeah, that was a big.
So I looked into it, and I said, "Crap, this is not real. They didn't land on the moon."
How about the
I mean, it's a
Sputnik?
circle.
She's not saying whether
I'm telling you, they're all the same. Ever since the Antarctic Treaty, they are all the same. If you look at the logos for all of the world space organizations, they all have the vector. The vector, the red vector, is what we think is the tongue of the snake. It's just, could be just a funny little thing. I don't know. But they all have that red vector.
Like a dinosaur.
So they're all the same. They all feed off each other. This is what's on NASA website. Now you tell me what's different about those two pictures.
Why?
No. One step at a time. What's different about these two pictures?
Why are we yelling?
One thing. Tell me. What's different?
I want to believe. I don't want to.
Can you see the difference? What's this? That's the United States. Right here's the United States.
Significantly smaller in the
Can that happen? Can that happen? This is same diameter. You can't have proportionately different sizes of the United States.
Could they be farther away? Wouldn't that image
Not with the same diameter. The diameter would be smaller. That's right on NASA's website. You look that up.
So why do you think that NASA is trying to get us to think that the Earth is round?
This is.
Well,
What would it benefit?
well, they want us to believe that there's an outer space so they can, we think, this is our thing, that we think they want to fake an alien invasion.
Actually, I did.
So they have to say that there's an outer space. So these aliens could come from somewhere. That's the only thing we can come up with. You have to figure these things out for yourself. I can't tell you. You know, don't believe that. I'm just saying this is what we come up with.
No,
because,
yeah, I'm just wondering why this huge conspiracy to have everyone.
well, the
believe
kings
that-
did not want the
that our
servants
Earth is
to
round.
read. The kings did not want the serfs to read. You know that.
Well, I know
No, but
that.
she didn't hear it, so
No,
give
I
her
heard it. I was here
respect.
earlier. I did hear you.
Okay, so it's because the educated people who know the truth are hard to control. When you know the truth, then you stand on the rock and you stand on the truth, and you are an immovable object, and you'll say no. But if you're on a lie, you can't back it up. You have nothing to stand
So
on.
this has been since the
Years.
beginning. They were planning to
Years.
figure out about an alien
Yes,
invasion,
it's-
and this has been ongoing.
This is not one guy. This is an
So
organization.
when are they planning? Like,
It's
is this gonna be far in the future
there's like
that they're planning this?
there are 13 bloodlines. They came from all the kings and everything. They wanted to stay in power. So they had to come up with all
I
this.
feel more like the government's trying to make us think there aren't any aliens than they are.
Oh, really?
I mean,
I don't know why you come up with that.
No, just wait.
As long as there's a planet. Why are we going to Mars? Why are we going all those other places? We're not doing that, actually. If you really look into it, you can't go there. We can't land on the moon. You can see right through the frickin' moon. Does anybody see where the moon is right now? Okay, if it was really a shadow on the backside of the moon, it wouldn't be blue, and it's blue in the daytime. And at nighttime, when it's black, you can see light through it. There's little stars and things they can identify through it. I think it's a filament.
Okay, I have one question. You don't believe in shootings?
I don't believe that.
And
What?
shootings?
I don't believe in the shootings.
But there's people dead. They've shown. Okay.
All right.
Okay. How?
I'm not going to say this. I'm going to say this.
Okay,
I think there's a lot of questions to be raised about all those things.
Okay, I have one question.
If they will lie to you about the land that you're standing on, they will lie about anything.
But I have one question. Can you tell that to the families that lost their kids? Because
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm
just think about that. Just think about that. Families, the moms and the dads that were sad about that. So can you tell that to the Can you tell that they were faking? Was that fake? Their grief was fake?
Did you ever look into this?
Yes, actually, because our school actually did it. Like our high school, we actually did a memorial for them.
Oh, no, you didn't look into it with a critical eye. You did a memorial. You did a memorial. You did a memorial.
So you're denying all the deaths? Your eyes are flat.
No, I'm not.
You just said they're not.
No. No, I'm saying that some people died in 9/11. I know
I'm
that.
not talking about 9/11. I'm talking about shootings. Stop changing
Well, you know what? Don't snap off to me, little girl, because I am here on this subject. I'm here on this subject, and I'm not going to go in there with you. Not going to go into that with you. Get your conspiracy banner over there, and you preach what you want.
I have better things to do, like go to school, work a job. What
Yeah,
are you doing?
yeah, I do that too. I did it. I'm 63 years old.
You look good for your age.
Thank you, dear. But I'm out here because I love humanity, and I want them to know the truth.
Humanity, then why are you saying that people are dying in shootings? Why are you lying?
Because I know not all those people died. I know that.
So what is your theory on the shootings? I must ask.
No, I'm not doing that. You want to talk about shootings? Go away. I'm saying, look, if they will lie about the ground that you stand on, they'll lie about anything.
Okay.
So you have to decide for yourself.
So if they're lying, is there what truth?
Did you know that the horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go? It was always at your eye level. Go on top of Mount Everest, and it's at your eye level. That proves that there are two planes coming together, and it never curves down. At some point, when you are getting high on this ball, above the ball, it has to go down, and it's not going down. Okay, so you have to figure these things out.
Really?
Yes, our government.
Does anybody have a question on the banners only?
I'm trying to listen, but my questions are getting curved.
You can't look past the horizon because you are correct. It's seen as two planes connected, but it's not actually, the bottom plane is not a plane, it's actually parabola. And so what you're seeing is the bottom curves when you go higher.
Okay,
above.
so if the...
Can I just go? You can see that from airplanes.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I have been in airplanes.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your question.
Basically,
Is that your question?
yeah, why don't you believe
Okay.
that's a parabola?
Okay, so when you look at the horizon, you see this way. You see this. That is your field of vision. That's how far you can see in all directions, right? Okay, that's your personal horizon. If I could see 10 miles further than you, my horizon would be bigger. Okay? So your personal horizon is curved, and you say, that must be the curve of the earth, because when you were 5 years old, there was a globe on your teacher's desk. So in your mind, you have to make everything fit the globe. And if you don't, then you're not building on your own foundation, and it makes you feel insecure. I understand that, okay? But it would not rise to your eye level if it were curving down at all. Okay, we're doing tests even down at Lake Pontchartrain on the bridge and all to see if it's level. You got to be able to see it both ways. If you're on top of this globe, you're on top of the world. Everywhere you stand, everything has to go down from there. No matter where you are, say you're here. You're on top of the world. Everything has to go down from there. Think of that. I'm up on top of the world. You ever know that song?
The why don't planes all fly in the same direction?
They don't. There's a lot of questions about the planes. Look at this down here.
I mean, there's nothing wrong.
Where'd it go? No. I have one on the airplanes. Where is it?
About what?
Where's the airplane thing? All the airplanes have to go above the equator in order to go back down. We have information on that, and I guess I don't have one on here about that.
Would every pilot then have to be part of the conspiracy? Because
Pilots are, some of them know it and keep their mouth shut because of they are going to lose their job. People know things and they don't say anything because they got a nice job.
wouldn't any pilot see that?
143.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
Where?
The 143, because I see airplanes. I don't know if that's what you were looking for.
No, there is one about the flights where they have to go north to go south. So now I guess I don't have it on here, but it's on this video. It's on the video, so look that up.
You don't believe that a pilot would give up their job?
No.
Where they make like $27,000 a year, but Edward Snowden, who worked for the NSA, lost like $100,000 a year job to tell us about.
It's all a personal conviction. If you are loving your job. Wait a minute, I didn't even get his done. So it's all a personal, decision. You have to decide. Are you going to stand for truth, or are you just going to go along to get along? And a lot of people don't want to rock the boat. Some people have been killed over this. Look up a guy named Bill Cooper. He was killed.
Oh, I read on the Cowboys. Yeah.
So people who talk and tell the truth, they say we live in a free country, you can say what you want. Nah. If you get too close, and you know, I had to make that decision coming out here and telling people about this.
Now, what about the hollow earth stuff? Now, because the earth.
I'm not teaching that. I'm not teaching that.
Okay, I just read that there's a new flat earth theory that it's more like a donut shape.
No, that's the torus field, and that's what I think is our electricity, because Tesla wanted to give us free electricity. And JP Morgan, the greedy SOB, said, where do we put the meter? We could all be having free electricity. But the rich guys said, no, I want to charge everybody for something I can get for free. And they also say that oil is a renewable resource. Oil is a renewable resource. Gasoline should only be costing the cost of the price, the processing.
Gasoline is not renewable.
So when did it
Oil. You don't know that. I've heard that, and I think there's something to it.
Can you explain to me then why it's renewable?
Well, we didn't seem to run out. You know all the threats that they gave? Oh, we had those long... You don't know that. I was born in 55. What year were you born?
1995.
Okay, so you don't know about this. But back in the 70s, there were long lines of people waiting to buy gasoline for their car. It was 17 cents a gallon. I remember that. I was like 14. So these things, they do on purpose. That was all a hoax to get us to accept higher gas prices. Did we ever run out of oil? How long ago was that? We never frickin' ran out of oil. That's all a lie. You don't ever run out of oil. You know how long we've been using oil? We never ran out.
That's because there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of oil.
But it will run out.
Well, we haven't run out yet, and yet they're saying that, oh, we gotta, you know.
Wait a minute, where is the oil?
So when did they discover that? When did they come up with the conclusion?
Well, it's not. I don't think.
The flat Earth has been around forever, but the Roman Catholic Church really is in on this. There's 3 city-states in the world. Did you know that? The Vatican and London, which is inside the city of London, that's separate from London proper, and Washington, D.C. So Washington, D.C. is military, London is financial, and the Vatican is the religious end of it, which I think they want the Pope to have negotiations with these aliens or whatever. And I think that's all like part of that thing.
Wait, so when the astronauts go out, how do they get...
Did you ever see the movie called Capricorn 1?
No, but when the astronauts go out, they...
Okay, did you ever see... Did you see when they came back from landing on the moon and stepping out on the moon? Did you see the press conference?
I thought that was bullshit.
It was. It was all BS. They were disgraced because they knew they were lying to everybody.
So they never went out to space?
No, they never did. They never landed on the moon.
How they made that image is like the video.
Okay, so, well...
I know a lot about filmmaking and special effects.
You don't...
She said forget it.
I mean, she's cute. You can tell. It's not... But I mean just that particular thing.
You don't know. I'm telling you.
I know a lot.
I don't. Made a lot of movies. You can do that. If you can say what you want to say, and I'm saying that we never landed on the moon.
Oh, yeah.
I know you know. But people went out to space.
Oh, no. I'm just talking about Stanley Kubrick.
No, they didn't.
So where's the stars and all the...
No, the stars are just what?
Lights. They are points of light. And if you can imagine, here's the...
Saturn, Mars, Venus.
No, don't exist.
They're wandering the planets. Only got the name planet within the last 100 years. The planets are just points of light.
So the sun is not a planet.
The sun...
9.3 miles away from where we are.
That's my personal guess.
You think so?
Yes. Look. Feel that and go like that. You feel a difference?
Because the sun's huge.
Yes, and even from sunrise, no, it's not huge, it's close. And from sunrise, it increases and it decreases. And the seasons are caused by a 23.4 degree tilt. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. Just because, look, and they say the season's direct rays, right? Okay, here we got this globe, and you tilt it this way, and it's going to give us wind. Excuse me.
That's a globe.
You tilt it 23 degrees, and it's giving us winter. You tilt it the other way, and it gives us summer, right? Like that? Like that? That's winter and summer?
I have a globe. It's alive.
Just
like the shootings. Damn it.
That's not how the tilt moves.
Yeah, it is.
Wait.
No, the tilt stays in place and we rotate around the tilt. The tilt doesn't move.
I understand that. I understand. So it goes like this, it goes like this. I understand that. But that's what they're saying, in
The
effect.
planet in and of itself spins. And so...
So where's the centrifugal force? We spin 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. Where's the centrifugal force? We don't have any?
When you're in a car, if you hit a big enough curve, you don't feel anything.
Yes, you do.
Not on a big enough
Yes, you
curve.
do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. You always feel it. When you take a turn, you always feel it. As we were kids, your side, and we all like lean over. Yep.
Force exceeds your centripetal force. You feel the pressure down, not the pressure in. Or the pressure
I guarantee you're traveling 1,000 miles an hour, you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
You go 5 miles an hour, you might not feel it.
So why am I in an airplane going like 500 and I don't feel anything?
Because when they turn, they bank. A plane will bank to turn.
I'm not even talking about turning, I'm talking about just going straight.
You don't feel it? Fine.
So
Because it's enclosed. It's enclosed.
But according to your theory, isn't the flat Earth enclosed?
Yeah, the Earth is enclosed.
So
But according to your ball, it's not.
the atmosphere keeps it enclosed.
That's what you think. So how do you have a pressurized atmosphere next to a vacuum, which is no pressure, without a physical barrier? That can't happen.
Gravity is what pulls the
No.
atoms down.
No, it has to be a physical barrier.
No, it
Are you a
doesn't.
scientist?
Yes, it does. I've studied this.
How do you know the Earth is? How do you know the sun is so close? Like what?
I agree. Maybe
Look, that's my personal theory on how close it is. I can't prove it.
So that's
Some
like a
people say
flat Earth.
3,000 miles. Some people say, but I think it's 9.3. You know why? Because whenever the government wants to fool you, they add million to it. They add the word million. So they say it's 93 million. Well, maybe it's 93 miles. I don't know. I think it's a lot closer.
So we've shot rockets up. And they
How
don't
far?
come back,
How far?
What time is class?
I mean, into space. But
Did you ever see when they go up? Here, I think I got a picture of that.
what I'm going to ask is where do they go?
Here. The rockets go up. They always turn. And then they cut the shot off. You never see it go. Totally.
I've
They
been in Florida and watched a shuttle go up.
Yeah, and where did it go?
Straight.
No.
Yes.
Maybe as far as you could see. Was it cloudy?
No. Beautiful day.
Okay, good. I'm happy for you. But I think it all goes this way because we got a lot of videos like this. Well, he can disagree and nobody can prove anything.
Can she get a pamphlet?
Sure.
When the
You can't
shuttle-
prove is, you know.
So when something's in space for several days, it's just up in the air for...
I don't think
almost
it
any
happens.
time?
I don't think it
Well,
happens.
where does it go then?
I think that once in a while they'll put a satellite on a balloon and put it up there just to take pictures and say, look, you know, we got satellites up there.
The
But
bees
I'm talking
listening.
about, like, the,
I'm sweet. That's why.
the trip to the moon took, I believe, 11 days, if I remember correctly. In those 11 days...
238,000 miles away, right?
Where did the rocket go?
Huh?
Where did the rocket go for those 11 days?
Well, we think every time the government doesn't want you to go there, they say it's scary. So guess where all these are landing? Bermuda Triangle.
What's scary about?
Things disappear.
That was me at a hub.
Come on, come
That was
on.
the transport looks can sell books.
I've got a question. So, if the sun's that close to our Earth, then planes, why don't planes burn out?
We have, okay, well, it's not as massive and powerful as they say. If it's a lot closer, it doesn't have to be. And it's not burning gases. I believe it's a filament. And it's different. It's a different thing. It's a different light than what they say it is. So I know it's like
Where's the heat?
you're talking two different languages here, and you have to like make the transition from one to the other, and it's really hard. And I know it's a hard thing to do. Okay, it takes weeks, months for people to really like understand and grasp the idea. but you won't get it all today. You will not get this all today.
Well, so what's the theory that the sun, it's small enough that the planes can just fly?
We have a video of a plane looking down on dark clouds and seeing the circle of the sun in the clouds.
So
we have a video of that, and I'm there, well, now, if it's that close, it's got to be close. So I don't know for sure. I can't prove it. But I have that picture in my mind, and I'm thinking it's really close. Okay, so you got to look at everything and decide what you're going to believe for your life.
So
I'm going to believe this.
The sun, that's not really the sun. Right?
No, this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the globe model. That's this model. Yeah, I have a lot of comparison pictures up here so you can see the difference. Like, this is what they're teaching us in the schools. That's what they teach us. Everything is moving and it's going through this vast universe, right? So then how do you get star trails? How do you get that from that? I don't see it. I cannot see it. I do not accept that.
I don't understand, though, why you don't...
This is star trails. You know how you get that? Mr. Cameraman, tell me how you get that.
The exposure, just let it expose.
You leave your aperture open and point it at Polaris, pole star, above the North Pole. And you get concentric circles.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
From the stars moving.
Yeah, and that has been for how long? How long do you think that's been in existence?
Since they've had film?
Since the beginning of time.
Oh, I thought you meant like the act of...
Since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Do you know how the sailors used to navigate the waters? They look at the stars. They don't change. So this is what happens. They teach us that in the schools. How do you think, don't you think people would have gotten lost on the ocean going following that frickin' thing?
Because it changed consistently.
No, you can believe what you want, darling. I am not doing that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not following that garbage.
So how do you explain the difference in stars, like month to month? So like,
well, like
Orion,
you said,
Orion is very common in our, like, I believe, spring, if I remember correctly. Whereas, like, I think constellations. Yeah.
Okay, the Big Dipper will change.
No, the Dipper doesn't change.
The Big Dipper will change as far as it will shift from one part to the next. On each season, it will be at a different side.
Yes.
Let's say that, okay?
That is correct.
Okay, so that's how they change. But in relation to each other, they don't. They are relatively fixed to each other in that position. They don't, like, parallax. They don't parallax. Parallax means, like, when you go down, no, you can't really learn truth in college. You have to go and study it for yourself. So parallax is, will you hold your arm out? Hold your arm out. Okay, now there's something here and there's something here. Now look, when I look at her arm, this is on the right side. But when I go past it, now this is on the left side. See, when I look at it. Okay, there's none, you can put down, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's no parallax like that. There's none of that.
If I sat here every day at night and looked up, the constellations would change.
If you watch the constellations, they would change.
They would change. So
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
How would they change?
The same spot every single day.
No, it's not the same spot. It's the same relationship to each other. They are not in parallax.
How do you account for their movement?
That's easy.
Constellations move.
Yes, it turns. It turns.
Oh my God.
You look up. I get one of them every time I come out somewhere. That's all right.
Yeah, but they don't.
But why are they saying
in your globe theory, they don't do anything like that, right? But in this,
no, I'm telling you,
in this, you don't do that. No. I don't believe that you ever did that.
Yes, I do. I look at the constellations all the time.
So if I'm understanding
they're no
is
longer
correct,
in the same
disc
spot.
itself is doing this?
Correct.
Did you go to college?
Okay, yes. Long time, probably well, no, you were probably older,
No,
but look. Okay, I'm 60. You were born in 93?
Yes, I'm only 25.
I was born in 55.
In 55, you be my mom's age.
I'm 63. So look, this is... This, we never landed on the moon. This is an upside down glass bowl. Think of it that way. And all the stars are put in there, glued on, and the glass bowl is turning. That's our model.
Why aren't they saying this on the news though?
Why would they do that? If they did that, then you would know, and you would be smart.
So then how did you know?
No? Okay, look.
Don't know this, we are not smart.
Because I started right here, actually.
You discovered this.
No, not me by myself. You never heard of this? This is the hottest topic on the internet. There are thousands of people worldwide.
I've heard of people thinking, but I'm saying.
No, this is why I'm here. Because you don't know. You start right there, and you'll start to understand it.
I didn't know that.
Believe everything you hear on the internet.
No, that's why I studied it. 2.5 years ago, I studied this. Now look, what's the difference between being educated with lies or being uneducated? No, I went down to the seashore, and I was in Wildwood, and I was looking for the water towers, because when we go to Ocean City, I took my telescope down there, and I wanted to see. And darned if I couldn't see all the way to Wildwood from Atlantic City. 32.6 miles away. That should be 681 feet of curvature that's missing. That's why I'm here.
You do realize that it's not a straight line along the coast, right? Like,
where does the disk exist?
If space doesn't exist,
the map,
where is the disk?
even on a flat surface.
Where do we exist? The planet itself.
Are you talking the flat plane?
There's no straight line.
I don't know what's underneath of it. I don't know where we're sitting on. They say in ancient writings that there's water above and water below.
Oh, isn't that?
That's what the ancient writings say, okay? I don't know further than the coast of Antarctica, and I'm not going to just speculate. That's for you to decide, okay? I just know we live on a flat plane. All water is flat. All the oceans are flat with each other. They do not curve. There is nowhere water can stick to the outside, especially of a spinning ball. Okay.
So gravity doesn't exist.
That's because you don't believe in gravity.
If you figure this out and you still look into this, then you'll start figuring out what they're lying about and why they're lying. If I tell you, that's just going to be a joke to you. But see, pardon?
I'm just trying to
I
understand.
thought you said they're lying because they want to fake it.
Yes, I think that's why. And when there was 3 people here, I could go into that. But when there's more than that, I don't want a big deal. So yeah, they want to unite the whole world in a one world government. And in order to do that, they have to have a common enemy. So they're going to come up with something.
Yeah, but they believed in a round Earth way before there was even a possibility of that happening. They believed in that prior to them even discovering America. They sort of discovered that. That's going back for thousands of years ago when they talked about this as being, that's before they had any agenda possible to say they want to have a one world.
Well, first off, it can't be thousands.
Use that argument as a reason for believing in it because they were talking
Are you going to preach to me, or do you want me to
to
answer your question?
Yeah, but I'm saying you're using an argument.
Okay,
that
I will answer your question. First off, Copernicus came up with this 500 years ago, not thousands.
No, this
They
came up
do.
before that.
All right, then we can't talk about it.
They were talking about this.
Because you are going to just debate and argue with me, and I'm not here to do that.
Okay, but even
I am only here to give information so anybody looks this up and decides for themselves. I'm not going to debate you.
Okay, so 500 years ago, what was the point of believing in a flat Earth versus a round Earth? Or what would have been the reason to believe?
What else happened 500 years ago?
Oh, let's see. It was 1760.
When was the printing press? When did Gutenberg come out with his printing press? 16 something?
I believe.
Yeah, I think it was too. I heard this yesterday, that this is also, they said 500, but I don't think it was 500. They can put a lot of stuff into textbooks to try and disguise it. But I think it was when Gutenberg brought out the printing press, the kings knew that the serfs were going to read and they were going to find out a lot of stuff. So that the church had to come up with something to offset that so they could stay in control and power. This is all about power and control, guys. All about power and control.
But there's no advantage to believing in a round Earth versus
I'd like to.
Did you get one of these?
I have lots of friends on Facebook I love arguing with.
Okay, well then did you ever watch the 200 Proofs video?
Oh, they.
Did you ever? No. Did you ever watch it?
I never watched the whole thing.
Do it. Just do it. All right. Well, then don't stand here and try to mock me. Anybody?
I'm good.
You can look into it yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but look into it yourself.
Thanks a lot.
Do you start right there where it says begin?
Okay, like come to the Raven Lounge.
Well, you have to just know. Look into things. Study it. You know, be aware of what's going on around you. You know, that's what I want you to do, is to think. Use your brains. Don't just accept when people say things. Don't just accept it. Sure. Okay.
Why do you care if it's flat or round?
It's about truth. It's about the lie. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want anybody else to be lied to. Because if you don't have the truth, you stand on nothing. That's what I say right here. I made that whole thing up there. If you don't... What's the difference between being educated with lies or being uneducated? If we only believe lies, then we're not uneducated. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I want people to know the truth.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess.
Marilyn is my name.
I have to go to class. So.
Have a good day.
Like, if you look at it, like, they go up and curve, yeah, that makes sense because they're going into an orbit. Yeah.
So I think you're thinking.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
I think you're. That's good.
I appreciate.
I think you're thinking. That's what I want. I want people to think, and that's good. When you're standing and thinking, that's good. I'm all for that. So what's your problem?
I'll hire you.
It's a crazy idea. So you're not even going to think about it.
Mars or another
But you like
planet.
the entertainment.
Change it up a little
right?
bit, make it sound like it's extraterrestrial.
Let me get your info, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes a lot of love. And I have to realize that people are going to be resisting this and they're going to mock me, and it doesn't matter to me because the love of truth is more important. See? You have to love more than be hurt. You can't take it in.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, I have to go to work, but do you mind if I ask you a question that's
Sure.
not necessarily directly related to
Okay.
this? But it was something that, like, popped in my mind when you're talking about it. So you know how when you go to Antarctica, they have to, like, escort you around?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's anything, like, sketchy going on in, like, North Korea, why they have to escort you around? Because that, like, that reminded me of that.
Well, you know, before the Antarctic Treaty, we were all like sovereign countries. But ever since then, we have kind of been melding into one world government. Mm-hmm. And I think they found something. The dome, the edge of the dome is one. The other thing is I heard this theory. They found something that they were trying to uncover in the ice. Did you know about giants in the ancient times?
Yeah.
I think they may have found one, and they're trying to melt the ice to get them out. And those giants were told to be 2 miles tall.
Oh, I didn't know
So that would be a lot of ice. Yeah.
I never heard this.
And did you ever think about Devil's Tower? Do you know what that is? No. There's these, it's a mesa, geologic mesa. It's flat on the top. It's a mountain that goes up and flat on the top.
Oh, like a plateau kind of? Yeah, yeah.
Ancient tree stumps. Trees were that big. There was a tree in an ancient writing, the Bible, I'll say it, that was the tree of life in the center. And that was probably the North Pole that reached way up that the whole earth could see it. And that you can't just like ignore that stuff. Why would they say something crazy? Were they all on high on marijuana? I mean, so all these things taken, put them in your mind and say, well, if I hear about that again, I'll know, you know. Just look into this stuff. It's awesome.
Well, it's
awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad.
Definitely opened my mind to a lot of things.
Thank you. I'm glad, and you have an open mind, so that's
There's
good.
There's some things, like the moon landing and 9/11 that are already like.
Yeah, cool.
So, and I've,
So send a message to this little. I'm on here. You can look at it. Thank you, dear. Do you have a question? Here. Here you go, honey. Here you go.
9 miles, it'd be bigger than that.
I don't understand. Why do you...
You can't ask a question.
You really think the Earth is flat?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Okay, because there's a curvature formula. If there is a ball, it has to have a formula for how far out it goes. You have to drop. Okay, so we have spherical geometry that says the formula is 8 inches times the miles squared. Now, 3 miles, you'd have 6 feet of curvature. 10 miles, there's 66.6. That's what they say this is. Okay, so I should be able to see that somewhere. If it really is a globe, I should find curvature.
Okay.
I have not found any curvature.
I watched a ship
Well,
disappear
how
over
is
the
it
horizon.
that you're disproving thousands of years of
No, you're wrong.
geometry?
No, you're wrong.
And
You have the wrong facts. You've
No, she
been
only
reading
believes
the
that
wrong
they talked
books.
about it 500 years ago. She knows this is what happened
I have to go to class, but I hope you
Thank
have a
you.
nice day.
Thank you, you too. Everybody can look this up for themselves.
I'm interested. Thank you.
Look this up for yourself. You can look this up.
but still, I want to know your methods, your research. What is it you're doing to
You can look this up. Look this up.
disprove the history of science?
Ask
and
me,
geometry?
no, that's too general a question. Ask me something specific. Look at that and tell me to explain something or give you, give me a good question. That's not a question. I'm not going into the history of anything. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, so you don't believe anybody is in Antarctica?
Oh, there's lots of people down in Antarctica.
This is coming from a different angle.
Okay.
All like Secret Service kind of people.
No, one of my friends is down there right now
That's good.
as a firefighter.
Okay. How far do they let him go?
Well, she's on the base, so she's around the local area there.
Okay, so they can tell her anything and she'll believe it.
Wait, so how far away is the sun?
Oh, look at that. Thank you. Did somebody do that? Thank you.
Okay, so right here,
Gravity changes.
you're saying that the sun and the moon are in a circular orbit above the flat Earth.
They go like this. Yes, above the earth, like this.
How far is the sun?
Well,
I think it's very
is
close.
it that the sun is still shining then if it's in a circular orbit?
It can shine, and it can only illuminate part of the Earth's surface, and
I
then it
understand the
moves.
theory here, okay?
And it moves
But
around.